everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Veroosh and this is your full moon reading for the full moon in Gemini that's happening tonight. The full moon will start at 11:30 tonight and continue until about 3 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, the full moon eclipse, begins at about 2:30 in the morning and will continue until the early morning. So you can stay up or you can get up early to see it. It's just going to be a part of the moon that's going to be obscured, but it's still, if you're into it, it's a good time to kind of get into the energy. It is a very powerful eclipse, regardless of the fact that astrologically in and of itself, it doesn't have the resonance. It's more to do with the environment around it that is so important at this time. So I was going to do some other stuff, but this is the best way to do it. And I feel like, there's a lot of people out there saying, go manifest, go manifest. And I don't really agree with this full moon that that's the right energy. So if you just want the short of it, I believe that with this full moon, you're supposed to reflect and understand and really think about your life in big patterns. I'm saying 20 or 30 years, some of you, your entire lives, and really reflect on what the themes are, what are people around you, what they mean, and just kind of try to come to some kind of conclusion about things so that you're very clear about the environment that you're in, the environment that you're interacting in. So you're very aware of, so you're very clear about and honest with yourself. So you've sort of have taken a look at everything and now truly understand yourself. So what I thought we could do is I'll do an astrological overview now, and then for those of you who are not into that, you can just jump into the time cap in the description. When I'm finished, I'll do it for you guys, and in each option for each single sign, I will do an astrological overview today because I think it's important for you guys to kind of hunker down and get in touch with the energy. I would say it's a good idea to be quiet through this energy. It's a good idea to sort of, don't be quiet, like go talk on social media, whatever, live your life. But in terms of like living your best life and YOLO and, kind of doing some kind of a, big gesture in your life, this might not be the energy. You might be jumping the gun on things a bit much. And you really don't want to spoil the energy. It's almost like eating dessert before the main course. And the main course is coming, and it's going to be quite beautiful. So the main course is going to be, we have a set of really beautiful transits. And there's a lot of people talking about them, and that's great. I feel as though it's much better than I think a lot of people assume it will be. So why don't we talk about the astrology? I'll show you guys the astrology and then we'll do a reading. It's not meant to be like today's tarot reading. It's not going to be like some kind of specific message or something I'm trying to get. I'll really see what comes through. And then for my own purposes, for your new moon reading in Sagittarius on December 13th and other readings that I'll do through the next month, I'll use this reading as kind of my sounding board. So I'm going to go slow, in other words. It's going to be a slow reading, and we haven't been here for a while. There's nothing wrong going on. I like putting things in order, and so frankly I've been on TikTok quite a lot. I've been on Twitter quite a lot, and just understanding things. I like to understand things in a genuine way, so that when I speak to them, it's genuine, it's coming from a good place. But members, I will be putting out more videos for you guys. I'm thinking right now individual videos, but just bear with me because the energy of this full moon and this entire period is so intense And there is so much information to understand and comprehend that going slow is probably your best bet and my best bet. So just know that whatever I'm doing, whether I'm here on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever I'm doing, I'm understanding the lay of the land so I can bring you the accurate information rather than just putting something out just because a transit is happening or something's going on. So I miss you guys a lot, and we will be on a regular schedule, but I am aiming to come at things from a very authentic and genuine space, and I feel like the current energy is very intense. That's what I'll say. Very, very intense. And yeah, so some big things are happening in the world. Some big things are happening, you know, in our homes and families. But I do feel like it's for the better. And so let's talk about the astrology before I get too sentimental and all of that stuff. So, wow, okay, so Dharma Bum's like, I've been watching you 5 years and I love the elaborate readings. Thank you so much. That's so nice. I don't really know this person, so it's nice that you said hello. Thank you. Yeah. So it's not really old school because it's not foolish. I used to be quite foolish online. I have things to say, but I'm kind of being selective for the purpose of this full moon. You know, it's a really good night to put out your crystals, and if you don't have a balcony, if you don't have a yard, you know, put your crystals out on your window, you know, charge them up with this full moon. Do a lot of clearing energy, anything from taking a bath to meditation, clear and release. The most important thing you can do with this full moon is clear something in your heart. So really sit with yourself, take a look in the mirror, and in some way understand something about yourself that you're holding back on. So beliefs, hurts, whatever has in some way held you back, something that you cling to for whatever reason that's not serving you, it's a really good idea to release, because the energy moving forward is really intense. I mean, after today, and it's going to be very powerful and just beautiful, and you want to be clear and ready. You don't want to have all this energy weighing you down. So hey girl, hey. So what are we looking at? So this is a chart from this morning. It's for 11:11 a.m. because I'm just like that. But we have the moon going to be at 8 degrees of maybe, rather than pointing with my finger, I'll point with the cursor. The moon will be at 8 degrees of Gemini, and the sun will be at 8 degrees of Sagittarius. So very nice full moon right there. You know, this full moon is much less about the moon and the sun and much more about these transits right here, which is the kind of talk of the town. Saturn, you know, here's Pallas Athena, and Jupiter and Pluto. And so, you know, there's tons of stuff out there. There's a lot of conversations about that. But what does it mean for this full moon at this time? Well, I feel like there's a lot of external factors that are affecting your life at this time. And so it's important for you to separate yourself from the outside and what's in. Without ignoring the outside, still be aware of what's happening inside. I feel as though things are coming to the surface, and I think it's important to consider that this full moon and the eclipse, the consequences of this will be quite powerful for the next 2 to 3 days until the moon forms a conjunction, will be in the same spot as the North Node in Gemini. So it's not really about, it starts here. How about this? It really starts here. The energy cycle that we're in, I believe, has already begun for about a week now. But now with this is a big milestone. This is the moment when you will really start to understand some of the things going on in your life. And I really encourage you to get good with that. Get honest with that. Get good with yourself, so that you feel good about yourself, so that you feel good about your relationships, and so that you can take the right steps in the right direction towards that which you want, okay? So this awareness, it's all about awareness with this full moon. So this awareness is really, really starting over the next 2 days until December 1st, when the moon forms the conjunction with the North Node. So we're kind of going up the roller coaster right now. When the eclipse happens, we're going to have some kind of increase in awareness. Some of you guys have been having dreams. I've had wild dreams, like just gnarly wild dreams, and I hope you take the time to reflect upon and think about what those dreams mean. So let's talk about this Capricorn a little bit more. So with the Capricorn transits, the big picture is that Jupiter and Saturn are leaving Capricorn and entering into Aquarius. We'll do completely separate videos on that. I was hoping to do it all together, but it's just too much information. It's way too much. It's overload. So just for the full moon, know that Saturn, the rule maker, the time lord, is moving into Aquarius. And in Aquarius, he is going to in some way change, and therefore the entire dynamic around us, the world around us, how we interact with each other, expectations on us are going to change. They're going to be much more to do with rules, and much more to do with order, much more to do with rationalizations of things. We'll talk about that more also. But Jupiter is also leaving Capricorn, and even though it's debilitated in Capricorn, it means Jupiter doesn't really like being in Capricorn. It still has blessings to give within Capricorn energy. So within this energy, expect that Jupiter will still be granting us through the next week, until couple weeks, until it enters into Aquarius, good consequences for the things we've done well within this energy. What has Jupiter done in Capricorn? It expands things. It makes things more like bubbles. It makes things, it's funny because on TikTok I see these kids, they're putting soap around their lips and they're blowing bubbles with their lips, and it's like, that's very funny that this trend has come up for the transit of Jupiter at the end of Capricorn. But it's this kind of expansive, puts room into space. So you sort of, if you're in a crowded space, you can't see so much, but if you put a bunch of air in it and push everything apart, you can sort of see what's going on around you. So I feel like the silver lining of the Capricorn Jupiter has been the ability to bring space and perspective to situations. And these things are powerful, These things are helpful and powerful. Hold on one sec. Okay, so anyway, so Jupiter is entering into Aquarius, and it's no longer debilitated, and with Saturn, I expect very swift changes with regard to rules around us, very, very swift changes with regard to policy and all those kinds of things. All right. The other thing is that Pluto has been an aspect, and frankly, between you and I, the last several months, I don't feel as though the last year, it hasn't. I know Saturn and Jupiter have been important, but I really feel that this transit is pinnacled around Pluto. I feel like the illness and government stuff and all of these different things, they're really Pluto things that are magnified and amplified by the Saturn and Jupiter aspects. I mean, they're all affecting us, but it's Pluto. Pluto rules our power structures in our personal life and also in the world around us. And whatever you have been coming up against that has been holding you down, holding you back, limitations from the outside world, those kinds of things, the things pressing down on you. And we're talking since 1996. So we're going back for some of you your entire lives. And it's the Pluto aspect that is so over the top right now. And from that point, it is what we are meant to understand about our lives, and from which this observation about ourselves, the Gemini aspect, is being born. So in other words, sorry, I get very like metaphysical, like archaic stuff, but basically this means take a look at your life from 1996. These patterns in different volumes have been showing up since then, and think about the things that hold you down, hold you back, and who you are in relation to those things. What do those things mean? What do they mean to you? Do you really align with those things? Are these things what you truly are, or are they impositions on who you are? And over the last several years, there's been a lot of pushing down and kind of force feeding this sort of energy. You are this way. This is the way it is. Boom, boom, boom. Push, push, push. And with this full moon and the eclipse, we're sort of releasing our attachment, our mental trap to those things. And we get to see our own brilliance, which is this North Node in Gemini. So in a funny way, this full moon eclipse is really about the North Node in Gemini. And the North Node in Gemini is with two wonderful, beautiful stars, Capella and Bellatrix, both of which describe brilliance, aptitude, just really wonderful energy. So somebody shared in the comments, I hope you don't mind me saying it, but you said it publicly. Someone said I had an unwanted pregnancy in 96. It's that kind of thing. Like, who did you become? And it doesn't have to, it didn't have to have happened in 1996, but these patterns started emerging for you around that time in some way. For some of you, it's very explicit. You had a pregnancy that wasn't wanted in 96, and then that had certain effects on you, and it kind of trailed from there the rest of your life. And for some of you, it would have been little bleeps and other things like that, right? So with this full moon, we're getting this kind of mind-blowing awareness about who we are, and like, hey, wait a minute, I'm free to be myself. And that doesn't mean that with this full moon suddenly you will become exactly who you want to be, but if you're strong, if you're confident, and if you believe what I'm saying, which is the truth, but if you really truly believe it, if you hold it in your heart and you start fighting for it, then that becomes your reality. So it's not about manifesting so much today as much as aligning yourself with the more genuine reality of who you are, and that influence of Pluto, seeing it for what it is. You know, seeing how did Pluto shape your life for the last 30 years? Is it 30 years, 25 years? How did Pluto shape your life for the last 24 years? And who have you become? And do you want to be free of that? So that's what the astrology, in my opinion, is. So this is just like a preamble. I know it's 20 minutes, but it's kind of like an intro into understanding this whole set of transits. But I feel like do the work and go step by step with me. And when I show up to do readings, I'll tell you what to do next. And if you really follow along with me, I feel like you will be able to make sizable, improvement in your life. So just in short, before we get into the individual reads, focus on what you are, be defiant of what you've been labeled as, and especially anything that has pushed you into a certain identity. Think about whether that identity is yours, or if you want to just pull away from it. And you can essentially pull away from it right now, tonight, with this eclipse. You can just separate yourself from whatever identity you have been trapped in. And especially with regard to Pluto, and Pluto sometimes manifests as unjust power structure. So we're not talking about necessarily, like easy things. We're talking about circumstances, socioeconomic positions, protected grounds. In Canada, we use protected grounds to define things of ourselves and how they are judged by others: gender, age, race, religion, all of these things. And so just the attitudes of people you've had around you, don't be apologists towards the people who have been a part of this. Some of these people may have been close to you. Some of them may have been people at school, strangers, work, whatever. But really think about who they've made you to be, or who they've contributed, and do you believe things that are not accurate, and have your awareness point of where you want to go next. Gemini is the sign of like, hey, I'm a captain. I'm gonna go over there, and I'm an adventurer. So go be an adventurer in your own mind. I do feel like for most of you this is gonna be like inside of your head. So I feel like it's going to be your own, it's going to be inside of your head. It's not going to be so much, you doing something tonight. But if you want to do something tonight, then put out some crystals, receive the energy of this full moon, and like just go with it. Okay, so that was a really long one, but I haven't been around for a while, so I hope this helps. So let's just get some messages going for each of the signs. I don't know if I should actually do astrology for any sign because I feel like this message is complete. So let's just go into the tarot. So we have Libra first, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let me see if it'll help. Let's use Libra as a guinea pig if we really need to go sign by sign in terms of the astrology. Maybe I'll do it to the side without showing you guys the nuts and bolts. But Libra, hi, how are you? Let's take a look at your energy. You guys are so sweet to me in the chat. Hi, everyone. Okay, Libra energy. Libra, okay, so let's do it a little bit if I feel like I need to. Libra, you have the North Node in Gemini at the top of your chart. Boom, it's right there at the top. This means that for you, this awareness is probably the most groundbreaking transit that any of you may have. And when I do readings, please watch for your sun, for your moon, and for your rising. There's a lot of variance between charts. This is kind of like a whole house sort of chart, but that's just for the general reading. But for you Libras, if your sun is in Libra, this is very, very valid. You are going in if you really truly embrace who you are, and if you've probably already been seeing and feeling how things and people hold you back. And with this North Node in Gemini and the moon in Gemini, I think that like if you truly let go of attitudes and opinions that you have internalized, you'll be able to probably make the biggest outside change in your life. The change of the outside, because it literally can take you somewhere far away from where you are. So let's see your cards. So we have the Ace of Swords, a powerful communication born out of your belly. You want to go in some direction. It's time to say it, say your truth. And then we have the 10 of Coins. Okay. Powerful conversations with family members, 6 of Cups, and we have the deep connection with people, truly opening yourself up to people that matter to you. No matter what's happened between you and them, it's kind of seeing the more important aspect of the relationship that matters, the heart-centered connection, and taking a risk or taking a step towards validating that and making it real. And then we have the Two of Swords. And so I feel as though there's things that have held you back, Libra. A little bit of like a conflict of interest or conflict of mindset, but you will figure it out. And then we have the Strength card, Leo. The powerful connection between you and your loved ones will surely guide you where you need to go. This is stripping yourself of ego and stripping yourself of attachments to beliefs about who you are. And that includes relationships with family members, loved ones, a relationship, and allowing those relationships to guide you, forgiving those people if it's appropriate to forgive, and truly letting them guide you in the right direction. And then we have the Devil. Now, many Libras at this time are forming the square, especially if you have Libra transits at the end of Libra towards Scorpio. You are forming squares to all the Capricorn stuff I talked about in the astrology section. That's that. And so expect something in your life to take control out of your hands and take you in a new direction. Okay? So something might change for you guys very fast and take you in a very new direction, Libra. And I just feel like something might just pluck you out of your environment and take you somewhere where you need to go. I have these cards too, just like as a closing statement. We have Return to Joy, and we are here to experience joy. So it's a little bit of like an unexpected energy, a bit of a breakthrough moment for you, Libra. Embrace it. It feels good. I think it's taking you to a good place. So then we have Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So Aquarians, are you guys feeling the torque? The torque is like the vibration of the energy is really, really intense for you guys. You will have probably, a lot of intense readings over the next little while. But for now, everything's closing out your 12th house. So in some way for you, Aquarius, this energy is very much about tying things up. But your happiness, speak to your happiness, Aquarius. Speak to within your heart and think about what brings joy into your heart. Is there something in your outside world that has held you back from expressing your pure joy and pure expression? Because I feel like Aquarians get timid, that you get pushed away out of your own way with things. And so then you become more quiet or more reserved or hold back on this natural expression. And so with this full moon, I think it's really for you about allowing some things in your life to really die down. It's a really good time to purge things out of your life as soon as possible. Get ready for the new beginning. All loose ends you should be finishing up before the 21st of December. Actually, before the 18th or so. But for this full moon, it's really reclaiming what is happiness to you. What brings joy? What kind of motivates you to be authentically you? And is there something that has been holding you back? And so if there is something that has been holding you back, then you need to think about what that thing is, and I feel like you should get rid of it as soon as pronto, fast. Okay, so we have Temperance for you. That's Sagittarius energy. I think that you've probably accepted something in your life very subtly. So it's not been like an ultimatum that was like, boom, there you have it, Aquarius, this is how it needs to be. It was a very subtle energy that sort of seeped in over time that had you sort of accepting a version of reality that wasn't what you really wanted. Then we have the Five of Wands. You felt stress every single time you lost ground on expressing what you truly want. You experience stress. So if you have been experiencing anxiety or stress around these issues, it's because you had been giving up space on something that you shouldn't have been giving up space on. Then we have Justice. So your awareness is coming back to the fact that you've been losing ground in terms of enjoying yourself, enjoying your energy, or enjoying enjoying yourself, enjoying your energy, or enjoying the authentic you. And through that, your outside world has been affected. So with this full moon and the eclipse, it's really about saying, screw it, I am going to do me. I am going to do me in the authentic way. And these things that bring me happiness, that's nobody's business but my own. And then we have the Two of Swords, deliberation between things. It has been very much, I feel very much you have been convinced step by step by the energy around you, Aquarius, to accept this. There wasn't one big step where you gave up your desire or passion for something. It was a whittling away energy, a little bit at a time. And then we have the Seven of Swords. That's Moon in Aquarius. So those of you guys who have Moon in Aquarius, your card. You have to, in some way, bluff it a little bit at first. You won't fully see where the potential is of the decisions you're making yet, but just know that you need to take that step and the potential is really great. Okay? And then we have the King of Coins, a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, big boys in town. So I feel like there's really big energy out there for you, Aquarius. I feel like something very solid is coming your way. I'm getting really a strong message for you guys with regard to, like, how do you say it? Like financial gains. I feel like these happinesses that you've held back from within your life have slowed down your financial progress because you're not doing what you truly bring joy and happiness into your heart, or maybe a modified version of that. And so I feel like maybe this is even you, that when you begin to really act fully, you know, within your energy to be this King of Pentacles, then I feel like you'll get that more by being truly, like, doing the thing that you thought was you had to let go of. Okay, here's a card for you guys, just a little card to finish up. We have the Way of Faith. Let faith be your guide. Okay, so that's your message, Aquarius. It's really about doing what you want to do. So go do what you want to do. What have you been holding back that you want to do that you don't let yourself do? Okay. And then we have Capricorn. Whew. Okay, so we have all the intense Libra, Aquarius, Capricorn. Those are the intense signs for the full moon. So why don't we just get right into your energy? For you, Capricorn, it's really about you know, how you divide your time and where you allot your energy to. So you have been probably on some sort of schedule for quite a while, and it was to achieve the things you have achieved. But I feel like it's now time to change your schedule up, change what you're doing, change like the balance of how you give your time to what and in what proportions. So for example, I feel like essentially you have not been giving enough time or equal time towards family or towards friends and happiness, social relationships. And so I feel like this is the time to kind of reprioritize those things. Your energy is actually quite, I don't know, it's coming through as very like clear and not so it, like Aquarius and Libra was like, whoa, like change your mind. But I feel like with Capricorn it's much more practical, very like, just, I don't even need to show you the chart. It's in your 6th house of just like daily activity. But I feel like with this full moon, all you really need to do is just, I don't know, just get. I think that what has gotten you here is not what is going to get you in the next direction. So if what has gotten you here has been, you know, really prioritizing work or school or whatever, from here on in, that social piece needs to be increased. So we have the Queen of Swords. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, secondary transits in water. I heard somebody say about secondary transits. When I say that, all I mean is that the secondary transits are your less dominant transits. So if you're an Aquarian, Sun, or rising, then you're a Queen of Swords oftentimes. It's not set in stone, but here's a general breakdown. But the Queen of Swords has water as her secondary transit, and that would be like a Mars in Cancer or a Venus in Cancer or something like that. So she has that water element also to her, but use this more when I do court cards, use this more as a character piece. So this person is standing on their own 2 feet, making decisions for themselves, being discerning, okay? And then we have the Four of Swords, rest. Yeah, just reprioritize your time, Capricorn, and then it's a good time for you to do that. Ace of Wands. I think that you're probably like missing people, so bring more people in. More people will come in for you at this time quite easily. So reconnect with the people who matter the most. And then we have the Six of Swords. You're finishing a cycle of extreme hard work in your life, and so now is the time for you to kind of reprioritize other things. Justice, Libra's energy. Okay, so what this means is that everything is it feels very orderly in your life at this time, which means that you have room to kind of place into that order the things that you need. And then we have Two of Coins. It might take some time to set things up, but everything's going to work out great. I just feel like, you know, suddenly you'll be more available to certain friends, certain contacts, and you're going to have to kind of work in those connections into not only your life but their life, but things are going to be great, and there's a lot of happiness with the reconnection with people who matter in your life. There's a lot of joy and like just a really good time, plus your birthday's coming, so hey girl, hey, this is, you know, a good time for that. Do not be frustrated, let go, and feel peaceful. I do sense maybe some of you are holding on to your responsibilities with work and ignoring the need for social connection, and that will lead to anger and frustration. If you're ignoring something within yourself that needs to be addressed, then you're gonna feel, you know, down in the dumps or whatever you want to call it. All right, so we have Virgo next. Virgo gang, sun, moon, and rising. Hey girl, hey. So let's see for Virgos. I didn't even look at, I'm a Virgo if you don't know. So hey girl, hey. Okay, so so Virgos, here, let's look at the chart together. So, okay, so for you, career stuff, career awareness, and it really has to do, if you're wondering, if you're new or whatever, I've been away for like 2 weeks, and people are like, are you okay? And thank you for all the kind notes and, you know, and questions and stuff. I've been on IG, TikTok, Twitter, not so much on YouTube, not because I'm stepping away from YouTube at all. It's just about setting things right. And so this is kind of my solar chart for the sun in the first house. And so with this full moon and for the last little while, you will have also, as a Virgo placement, sun, moon, and rising, have felt in some way a need to tinker with your work balance, and opportunities have come in, different ways of looking at things, ideas, all sorts of transformations, and this is a really good time for you to go with that and embrace all these different opportunities. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. We have the Seven of Coins. So whatever you start right now, Virgo, will have very good long-term consequences or outcomes. Then we have the Star. Yeah, you're definitely starting some big phase in your life in a good direction. Don't work against yourself. If your instincts are telling you to go do something over there, go do that, then please follow your instincts. And then we have the King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Really authentically live from within your heart. Also, I feel as though there is like a transformation that's happening around you. There may be a person of interest around you, like a loved interest or something like that. Quite a romantic energy. Here, Virgo, let me just point this out because I haven't talked so much to you guys about this, but before it ends, you have a month to go before it's really over. We've had these, you know, transits in our fifth house, and I wouldn't want to like gas up a Virgo to think that love is coming into their life because of these transits, because some people, you shouldn't go somewhere unless the energy's good there. If you go, you know, somewhere where you're not invited or where it's not a pleasant energy, this type of thing could be a real mess. So I didn't want to be encouraging of love for Virgos. I mentioned it here and there, but I don't feel like this energy is necessarily good across the board. But since these transits are moving into Aquarius for you Virgos, this is a transit of love, you know, for some of you, and breakthrough moments, big romance sort of things. So there could be some kind of a love connection. And always remember that when I read court cards, it doesn't have to be a water sign. It may be a Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, which is a wonderful match for Virgo. But it's big feelings there. So there could be big feelings around you, you know, heart on a platter, you know, very romantic sort of chivalry or whatever. But I feel more than anything else that you're shining at this time, Virgo. We have the Star, and then we have the King of Cups. I see this more as you, open-hearted, relaxed, and going in a good direction. So, you know, if you're not there yet, Virgo, use this time with this eclipse to get clear with who you are and like go in that direction. Just go. And then we have the Four of Coins. So being conservative and holding back, you know, holding back within yourself. How do you say this? Holding back on the things that you, regardless of what other people think. Like not going out on a Friday if it means getting some work done, or making choices despite the fact that somebody, you know, might feel away, because that's the right thing to do. Then we have the Six of Swords. Moving on, you're definitely going in some direction, and many of you have already made choices to help you get there, Virgos. And then we have Temperance, Sagittarius, a very creative space. Those of you who are artists, if you've had some kind of inspiration, this is a really wonderful time for you to pursue new points of inspiration. You know, for Virgos, one of the other things to keep in mind is that we're not going to get too many transits going through Virgo, Leo, Cancer for a while. No bigger transits. I mean, the moon goes through this area every month, the sun once a year, Mars every, I don't know, 13 months, 14 months, and Venus every 10 months. But outside of those, Jupiter once every 12 years. So when we're talking about this, it's kind of like the spotlight isn't off of you, but this intrusive energy of things coming up in your life, distracting you from your own projections, from what you want to create, is sort of out of here. And so therefore, those of you who are creating, there will be more room for you to have space to create, to do your thing, and to bring into reality the things that you are creating with your mind. And that's true for Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Leo, because all the other transits, all the big transits, the big guys are over on the other side of the chart. So that's good news for those signs. But definitely less action. Virgo, let's pick a card for you guys here. Sun, Moon, and Rising. It doesn't make your life boring. It just gives you room to breathe. Live in the moment. You are looking for what you are looking for is with you. It's right there. You know that whole saying, the thing that you need is within an arm's reach. So there you go, Virgo. Okay, so next sign we have Leo. Meow, meow. Sun in Leo, Moon in Leo. I love the Leo moon. And then we have rising Leos. Okay, So for Leos, if you don't know what I'm, maybe watch Virgos. I talked about you a little bit. Essentially, there's not that much going on in Leo for many years in terms of transits. So for some of you, there may be not a big transit in your first house, like Uranus, the outer planets, for the rest of your life. So you're kind of off the hook. And, you know, there's other things going on in the rest of your chart, fine, but it is just a lot of breathing room, and you've been under this energy for a minute. So we've been in it for already 5 years or so, but it's important to reflect upon it now. Oh, Bari, there you go. You're a Leo moon. So, so we have the moon entering into Gemini in your, so it's really about who you are versus other people. All year you've had this theme come up, maybe more of an intimate relationships and how they sort of force you to be a certain way, or, you know, this and that. But I feel like with this eclipse, it's really about you know, and especially like people taking you for a chump, you know, like just being nice, and like people, you know, riding that out or using it or misusing it, or you just really seeing, you know, crappy people and crappy things for what they are, but also seeing the people you may be looking over, wonderful people who you may have taken for granted. You're like, oh shoot, this person is really great. You know, I've had moments like that. It's like, you know, this person, Bari, you're so good. Hey girl, hey, you know. So like we all have these moments with this eclipse, is just who matters and why, and like have that wake up moment and use the next 3 days to do that. More astrology in the beginning, so check it out there. Okay, so we have Leo, 4 of coins. So, you know, when you don't know, how do you say this? When you don't know why, when you don't, 4 of coins. Okay, so when you don't know, when you don't feel comfortable with other people, we know this, like we know that other people have the free choice to make their decisions of their own validity, of their own capacity. And when we've been hurt, sometimes we get shy of opening up to people because the potential of and the threat is sort of like a trigger. And so that's, I think, this, because when you don't know how to position yourself in this environment where the other person, whoever they may be, has the potential to hurt, it just takes a while to open up. So this 4 of coins is there. And then we have the 8 of swords. And so it's been uncomfortable, but you can't pretend it into being until you figure out how you feel about other people and the potential of them acting in a way that you can't mess with, you can't be around. It feels uncomfortable, and then you get guarded. But the point is that you're realizing this with this full moon. You're understanding exactly what it, see, it's like you can't push that understanding. You can't be genuine and trusting towards a person you just simply can't trust. And so this is more about you and figuring out where you are vis-a-vis others, and like thinking about things in a like integrating it, right? And then we have the 4 of wands. Happy home. You know, it's been a nice time for you around the house, taking it easy. I think what this is telling me to tell you is just don't rush it. You know, those feelings of healing or understanding between yourself and others will come to you naturally. And then we have the 9 of cups, Jupiter and Pisces, fulfillment of wishes, transformation, confirmation, and the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I feel as though it's all about like, exactly, you're going to figure out the way to think about things so that you're not bothered, right? And it's not going to be like some band-aid solution. You're going to genuinely think about how you interact with other people and what it means, and like the potential threats and the potential blessings. And you're going to find your way of thinking about it and being good, you know? So you're not so worried about, you know, Bob over there doing this, or Susie doing that, or Karen doing this, you know. You're not going to be so worried about that. But it's going to come from a genuine place, in the sense that it won't be ignorance, because you'll know the potential is there for somebody to do something, but you're going to trust yourself to know how to deal with it, you know, when if it arises. It's not that it's not, you're not going to think of it as such a big deal. Okay, so let's pick a card over here. You guys don't see that part, but just a little message for Leos. The dawn of love. And that's like power. It's like confidence and strength. Love is rising on the horizon of your life. So there you go, Leo. Just confidence from a genuine place. So hey girl, hey. Okay, so next we have Taurus. Hey Tauruses, sun, moon, and rising. Let's see what's going on for you. So this is your 12th house, hey? Okay. 12th house full moon. Is it? No, second house, sorry. Wrong way, Veroosh. So how have you been spending your money? And this is also a very clear-cut answer, Taurus. How have you been spending your money that has not been suitable to you? Have you been overspending on dinners? Have you been overspending on clothes? Have you been blowing your money? This is my issues. Have you been blowing your money on, you know, things that aren't actually bringing the whole picture up to... It's a very straightforward point of awareness, but probably one of the most important ones. Don't be shy. Like, you know, shame and guilt over how you've spent in the past. Don't let that shame and guilt intimidate you from making the right choices now, right? So just be like, yeah, that's what happened in the past, but now I'm going to make the right decision. So we have the 10 of coins, a lot of wealth. You have a lot of wealth. You come from a lot of wealth. No matter what your financial situation is, you are wealth. You emanate wealth. So don't be anxious about financial things in your life. Then we have the Knight of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I do feel like there's a tendency to rush at things a bit fast and blow money, or, you know, just don't shoot yourself in the foot. We have the King of Coins, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's a slip. Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Confidence, security. Stop the rushing. That's what I'm getting. Stop rushing. Like, I have to buy this now. And, you know, it's like... you know, it's Black Friday, so many weekend, so many people, and Cyber Monday tomorrow. I think that's a Canadian thing. There's a lot of people rush, that tendency to rush. It's like, no, hold your horses, hold yourself back. Do you really need 2 of those things because you're saving $5 each? Or will you need that in a year when you need that item? Like those kinds of little tricks of the mind. And then then you're going to be unmovable. So make peace with your spending habits. And also, for some of you, this is a download about partnership if you're in love, especially in a relationship. You know, bickering with a partner, bickering, fighting, especially if they're being kind of catty or some kind of, you know, I'd say take your distance from their energy at this time. That doesn't mean break up with them or anything like that. Just take a pause. Somebody could be, your partner could be particularly snarky at this time. And then we have the 5 of Wands. I get this stress around money. Maybe your partner is the one who's spending. 5 of Cups, you want to be there for them. That could resonate too, huh? For some of you guys. That it's not you, that you're enabling somebody around you to be careless financially, and it's like, you know. And then we have the 2 of Cups, but you really love the SOL. Okay, so that's another thing. I was trying to, okay, never mind. Good things will come out of it in a bigger picture. There's definitely someone who has material anxiety, who's making bad choices based on financial things. The problem is ruining the wealth. Like, don't, like, the problem is anxiety around ruining the wealth, but there is a real love-based connection. It's like, how do you get it through to them to understand? I really strongly feel you should take a step back. All of us collectively are doing a lot of mental work right now. We're understanding who we are, what's important, what we care about, and in what way. And so it's very hard to get through, like, having conflicts with other people right now is no bueno. It's not a necessarily like the best vibe, because they're not going to be in the best space to receive it. You're just going to, this to me screams anxiety, that someone in this situation is working through anxiety. And so rather than trying to convince, you can, if you're married to them, you can convince them in 3 months, right? So you know, just love them, take your space. If it's triggering you, I do sense that it's triggering you, because it's real world things, like you're worried about money, and stability probably that you've earned really very tough right now. But just know that you can address those things in a separate situation, and know the person you're dealing with is going through things just as much as you are. So it's not a good time for you to negotiate with other people. For any of you watching, it's not a good time to negotiate, convince, or, you know, point them in, because they have enough stuff going on in their head. I love how this, I know this is the horns, but let's make this the Taurus sign. Somebody just did that. I don't, who was that? Hey girl, hey. It was C. Hey C. Yeah, this could be Taurus's little thing. Okay, so no, we haven't done Scorpio yet. Face your fears. Farewell to fear phantoms. And, you know, sometimes when we talk about things, we re-trigger it. We have such a culture of purging, you know, which is good, because it's, I feel like all this, I said this on Twitter, I feel like maybe this culture of talking about narcissism that has come up online is, in some way, I'm hoping that it's going to desensitize us, so that when all the people, that it becomes like a normal thing in society, that we all know that, like, you know, that person who hurt us was just a narc, and other people will be fully prepared to hear that and understand what we're talking about, and then people will be very open to dealing with things of that nature. And so I feel like the fear, it's like this fear, like the anxiety and all those things. I hope that we're working through those things right now, and you know, degrade the fear through facing it and through minimizing it, you know, with just little narcissists, little gray rock narcissists trying to, like, just, you know, narcissism is so pathetic when you think about it. And so I hope that anyway, that basically what's going on right now in terms of us talking about our experiences in those types of situations and so forth will in some way lead to a culture that's receptive to collectively dealing with narcissistic individuals in a fair way, you know? And so maybe like the worry about money and like those kinds of things. This isn't about you having any kind of selfishness. It's about things being sort of, your world being rocked by, you know, narcissists are really bad with money because they rush at things. They're just like, I'm going to spend money. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Because they have this insatiable hole that they have to fill. So maybe that's where this is all going. That in some sense, that just get a handle on things with the unpredictable. So, yeah. So your worries about money are valid, Taurus, and hopefully you will find a space to not feel fear that somebody's going to mess it up for you, for all the hard work and all the diligence that you've put into things. Okay, so then we have Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's take a look at your guys' chart. Hey, Sag. Sag has been getting some good readings. So, like, happy, yay. Well, if there's a love, first of all, I'll just tell you guys, yours is pretty clear cut as well. Listen, if there's someone in your life who you've lost and you love them, like a romantic partner love, but you always feel like that was a missing thing, I feel like with this, it's going to make it very clear to you if you want to be with someone like that. Or if you're denying yourself a relationship with someone and your heart really wants to be there, the next 3 days is when that's going to become very clear. And you've probably already had dreams about this. If you're fighting with your partner, if you're somewhat isolated or whatever's going on, this is the time when it's going to become very clear to you of where you need to be in terms of love. And if in work people are shady and messing you around, it's going to become very clear that you need to get the crap out of Dodge. Then we have the Nine of Cups fulfillment. It's almost like your dream, you know, Sagittarius dream big. Go big or go home. And when you live with big dreams in your heart, the world constantly tells you that your dreams are too big. And so then you, after a while, start questioning your dreams and wonder if this is the path for me. It's like this transit in some way illuminates for you the ability to be able to see that, yes, this direction is the path you want. You can have this love. You can have this relationship. Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Very loving energy here. Very, Mars is in Aries, going direct, has gone direct in your 5th house. I see you as taking chances with love. And Venus is in the 12th house. Secret feelings. Ace of Wands. Okay. I would see declarations of love possible around you at this time if you allow yourself to feel it. And then we have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, there's love all around you at this time. So this is, when we have these transits, sometimes we think, oh, it'll be around next week or it'll be around in a month. Take it while you can. These transits, especially when they get really good like this, you're being open a path to love, to romance. Four of Coins. There's a little bit of obstacle in your way with regard to money, but I feel like you can get through it. The biggest part is believe that this love energy is yours for the taking, and it is. So it is what it is. Okay. That is your energy. I'll pick for you guys a card. Hello. Hi, Shala. Shala's been keeping me accountable. She's been hitting me up and saying, like, where are you? Grow up, Veroosh. She even followed me to TikTok. Like, get back to YouTube. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we have, do not be frustrated. Let go and feel peaceful, Sagittarius. So, peaceful with what you want. Peaceful with what you love. Your dreams are not too big. That person may be even reaching out to you. We had the Ace of Wands, unexpected love, Put out your rose quartz underneath this full moon and believe that it can guide you to where you need to be, okay? Then we have Scorpio. There's Scorpio. I feel like there's a message coming for Scorpio, like a big message. Sun, moon, and rising. Let's see what's going on for Scorpio. All these messages are big, I hope. So, or impactful. Okay, so Scorpio, yours is the 8th house, and so, yeah. So, what needs to go? What attitudes, what attachments need to go? Who are you continuing an entanglement with, despite the fact it's not leading to anything good for you? Just release those attachments that are not old forms, all old people. It's time to, this is a big transit. This is just the beginning of our, work through this energy, but it really has to do with release what is not conducive or what's not contributing to where you need to go. Venus is in Scorpio right now, so you're feeling Scorpiana's in the house. Hey, it's a very like sure of oneself energy. You speak with authority to things, confidence about who you are. There's just a lot of great energy to push ahead, Don't get enticed by predatory partners. Don't get enticed by recklessness, the bad boy or bad girl. Don't let that energy suck you in and distract you, because you have, in short, release attachments to the relationships that are not bringing anything in, the relationships that are done, and be prepared to live your life unattached to that energy that is not a contribution to your well-being. Okay, so now let's take a look at your cards. We have the Five of, you've been holding on to all these disappointments and sadness, and you know, I wish they would, I wish they could, I wish they knew how to. And you know, it's a perpetual state because I think that you understand emotionally what other people, you have, many of you have very high emotional IQs or EQs, and so it's very easy for you to see what other people are having a hard time understanding emotionally, and you often can see people that would benefit from seeing things from a different perspective. If they could only make peace with that, if they could stop going back to their boyfriend, if they can stop doing this or that, then they would be much, you understand those things, so you perpetually live with sadness and disappointment for others for seeing how they stumble where you sort of do really well. We have the Magician. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Magician in my view is like a secret admirer. Somebody's hitting on you, or maybe you're taking a shot at somebody. And then we have the Temperance card, Sagittarius. Very creative energy, creating something beautiful, maybe some like sad art. All my like emo Scorpios, you know, making something creative, maybe despite of like a darker time in your life or like a blip on the radar. Queen of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries, secondary transits in water. And then we have the Two of Coins. There's somebody who is encouraging you to, you know, be more assertive. There's someone who's encouraging you to be more front and center with things. You have like a cheering squad. And then we have the Star, which is the card of Aquarius, faded direction. I feel as though something's going to pick up for you really fast, and there's going to be some kind of really wonderful potential for you coming through. Intimacy also. So the Magician has the wand. Hey girl, hey. So I really feel like you have some breakthrough moment, unexpectedness. Somebody's trying to encourage you to be a little bit more daring. You know, go after what you want. Take a chance, you know. It's funny because when we get pensive and when we get like Five of Cups, thinking about things and feeling things through, sometimes we can like forget that we're this way. It's like, no, just go have a little fun now, you know, just take it easy a little bit now, you know, be a little bit more relaxed, or take a chance with some things, or, you know, enjoy yourself and stop dwelling in the energy of sadness or pensiveness or regret or whatever it is. So like chipper up, chipper up. Okay, so here we go. We have the deal with the unexpected, treat the unforeseen as a divine offering. Deal with the unexpected. The Magician can show up at any point in time and give you some kind of a offer. You might meet someone. This could be like the divine magician of the universe showing up and, you know, just showing up in your life and saying, bloop, here I am. Let me give you this open door, or this open invitation. So be okay with, like, I don't know, just something showing up that can kind of wake things up for you a bit. This is also sliding out. 5, don't be sad, Scorpio. I know it's easier said than done. It's like when people tell you don't be mad, that makes you just more frustrated. It's like, don't be sad. It's like, really, Veroosh? Really? It's like, no, but do try to like chipper up and get excited about something. Magician. Sagittarius is like, maybe look at some art, you know, maybe have a romantic moment with someone, something like that. Okay, then we have Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's take a look at your energy. Well, Aries, for your astrology, I would really just recommend that you watch the intro, because I set my main chart to Aries rising. So we have Six of Wands, victory, success, you know, like the complete breakthrough, confidence. Yes, you know, I won, high five. And then we have the Justice card, which is balance. I feel like something has been made fair. You feel confident around it. Fairness is coming into your life. Four of Swords. You've been trying to chase a dream or chase something for quite a while, and I feel like that chasing is done. So you don't have to chase anymore. You don't have to chase anymore. You don't have to, like, there's something that you've been doing for a while to, like, make do or fix something or deal with something or handle something, and now that situation's done and it's ended favorably, and you get a break. You know, like, you've achieved your goal and now you get a break. Five of Wands, you have been stressed out about this situation. Stress. And then we have the King of Wands, and now you get to come back into yourself. So your energy's been divided between a couple different things. Something's been pestering you, and now you get to come back in your energy. And then we have Aries, the Emperor. So you have earned your circumstance. You have earned your dynamics and the energy that you reap, and you're reaping positive energy from all the effort, all the stir crazy energy that you have been dealing with. And now you can kind of chill and, you know, just go with a good vibe and a good energy in a good direction. Okay, that's Aries. Let's pick a card for you guys here a little bit. Oh, we have two. So we have willpower. Improve your willpower to reduce your stress level. So a little confidence for what you've achieved. Also, when we're working really hard, we forget how much we have achieved. So taking a step to appreciate your achievements is also good. And then we have work of art. Be portrait of divine beauty. So you have earned something, Aries, and it's time to enjoy the product of your effort. So, and especially after the 21st, but right now you're starting to feel that you've built what you've built. And then we have the Pisces energy, the Pisces. Hey Pisces, let's take a look at your energy. My nose is itchy my nose is never itchy, and I come on here and it's like, Okay. So Pisces, hey Pisces, let's take a look for you. So I just feel like you need to come to terms with some kind of home situation. I feel like you need to, I feel like you're probably influenced by friends a lot, people telling you about home or family or telling you their opinion. And I feel you need to make a decision. It'll be part of the energy that you're entering into is you're going to make a decision about family or home. And I feel like it's not a good idea to invite anybody else on that decision. It's on you to make that choice or decision. Or for some of you, it's like, I'm going to move, or I'm going to get divorced, I'm going to get married to someone, I'm going to move in with someone, all sorts of things. But the onus is on your shoulders. Okay. And then we have the moon, which is Pisces. It's very private, only in your heart. And then we have the Hanged Man. So I think you've probably been creating, honestly, I think you've probably been creating delays because you don't want to make this decision so much. I feel like it's been something that's looming, and wherever you can buy yourself a little bit time with nobody watching, that's what you're doing. And then we have the Ace of Coins. It's like, it's not felt right. That's the thing. And that's what I do. That's when I don't show up like that. That's usually what I'm doing. It's like, when something doesn't feel right, I don't do it. And so, or sometimes I do it and I regret it every time. But most of the time, the things I'm good at, it's like, but it's that formula is coming in. So that piece to the puzzle you've been waiting on is coming. And then we have the Page of Cups, a new beginning. Say yes to something, smile and nod your head in agreement with something. Finally, open yourself up to something. The Tower is going to lead to a big change, and I think that you're hesitant of that change. I think you're hesitant of making waves. And then we have the Knight of Coins, setting a direction, in a new direction, you know, deciding for yourself in a new direction. I'm going to go in this path. This is what I want. This is the direction I'll go. So I just feel like you've been in a holding pattern with a direction in your life. And I feel like you've been hesitant to change your life. And so I feel like this new beginning is the right set of circumstances, or a better set of circumstances, Pisces, is coming up for you, better than before. And now you're really feeling like, or it wasn't feeling that good before, was it? It wasn't. It was like you knew you needed to change, you knew you needed to make a change or whatever, but it wasn't feeling right, was it? And now in some way it feels better. It feels on point. On point. Yeah. Sorry. All right. So, okay. So that was silly. Okay, so here is your energy, Pisces. Just an extra card. We have deal with the unexpected. It's just like treat the unforeseen as a divine offering. I think that you're, and rightfully so, we're in the middle of this crazy year and crazy time, you know. It's been a gong show, and I don't blame you for being hesitant to bring change in your life. Okay. Then we have Gemini. Hi, Gemini. So this is like, okay, so I'll tell you what this full moon is about. It's very straightforward. And it's a little bit of a drag. So I'm not dragging you. I'm just telling you how to best use the energy. So don't shoot the messenger. It's really about like, what about you is holding you back? You know, like what about who you are, how you think is holding you back from being better or having a better life? And it's the more honest you can be in that, the more you can look at yourself and be like, you know what, I'm lazy, or I procrastinate a lot, or whatever it is. I have an anger issue, you know, whatever it is. The more that you're just like, okay, you know, I have prejudice. I live in prejudice, or, you know, I'm shy. I need to do something about that. The more you're authentic and you just see what, and remember, watch the beginning, because I talked about like the bigger pattern, but like this is about like, and maybe it's born out of real things. Maybe you were oppressed. Maybe some evil villain was like around you, a teacher that made you this way. You know, maybe some really valid things, but those things are gone and you're still this way, you know, and the consequences of their villainy, of their evil behavior is still with you, and it's expressed through your attitudes, your mental state, and all that stuff. So the first house, I have to say it's the first house full moon. It's a real check-in, you know, it's a real check-in. So the more that you can be straight with yourself about who you are and who you are on the inside, and are you acting that out genuinely, you know? Or if you don't, what if you are who you are and you're acting the way you are and you don't like the way your world is around you, you know? So maybe it's time to change. Okay, so we have the Eight of Coins, Sun in Virgo. So hard work. I feel like you're losing ground on work because of attitude problems for some of you guys. I'm not dragging you. I'm just saying, I just feel like hard work is being undermined by defensiveness. King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And then we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, so I feel as though there is, you don't feel like there's people around you, whoever it is, that you don't feel fully comfortable around. You feel like you can't trust them. There's like a lack of trust in situations, and there's a hesitancy. And I say, if your gut is telling you to not trust people, maybe you need new friends, you know? Maybe you need some kind of this. Three of Wands, I'm really laying on, but it's a Gemini full moon eclipse, so And this is true for North Node in Gemini. I heard somebody say in chat that they're a North Node in Gemini, so that's for you too. Three of Wands, good things will come in. Even, listen, if you've been living with a complete lack of authenticity and you're doing a job and living a life that is not yours, that is not from within yourself, don't get down on yourself by the fact you've been living it, because even in those things, there's going to be good consequences that come to you from the things you've done. This simply, it is what it is. And then we have the Page of Cups, and you'll find new things to get excited about. So there is no loss in this, wherever you find yourself. I feel like some Geminis really feel like they've been held back by things, like they didn't get to where they needed to be, or life dealt them a bad hand. And then we have the Three of Cups. I feel that maybe resentment is holding you back from letting some people in, and I feel like that's this full moon, you'll come to terms with that, and the guard will go down, and you'll sort of begin to be more trusting of some energy. Okay? But don't welcome in people you don't trust. That's a recipe for disaster. And I'll pick a card for you guys too. We went through this really quick. Was it enough, you guys? Beyond the ego, surrender to the flow of life. I guess it's an hour. I've gotten better at being concise, right? Okay. Oh yeah, daytime. That must be cool. So beyond the ego, surrender to the flow of life. And it's kind of eerie how these cards really mirror, you know? Surrender to the flow of life. It's like, let that ego go, man. All right, so what's our last sign? Do you know? I don't. We have Cancer. Oh, hey, Cancer. So there's Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You guys are going through, and especially if you have Cancer signs at the end of Cancer by Leo. Gong show energy. Okay, so Cancer by, the reason I should probably explain it. So if you have Cancer transits, let me just bring this up, then all these transits here are opposite to your transits right now. So it's almost like a spotlight that's bright, it's shining on you, and it's really bright. So you might be feeling just overwhelmed, frankly. And frankly, I also see a lot of this. There's been a lot of hazing of Cancers right now by, you know, people on the internet making fun of, you know, Cancer signs, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So you might be feeling a little bit like, you know, getting poked at or judged or whatever. All I can say is get through it. And it's only temporary until December 21st. So it might feel like, you know, pretty intense, but nothing bad may be happening, just the energy, the vibration is intense. Your full moon is in the 12th house. So hidden feelings about things that you don't let people in on. You'll be having a lot of awareness. We'll see. There'll be a time and a place for you to share those thoughts and ideas. For now, it's in your head. It's just for you. Then we have Justice. I feel like you're less caring towards someone than you were before. I feel like you cared a lot about someone, and now it's just a little bit less. I feel like, and that's giving you room to distance yourself from behaviors that are not good. And then we have Eight of Wands, encouraging. It's almost like they know that you feel that way. And so they start to try to entice you guys. And then we have the Nine of Coins. I feel for you a space of autonomy, emotional autonomy from emotional things that would have triggered you in other situations. And then we have Nine of Cups. And I think you're getting what you want. And I feel like you feel secure and strong in your situation, Cancer. You know, this is the thing that this is oftentimes I roll my eyes at that. When people say, oh, you know, like, this person's wilding out. and you see that person and they are scared about their future, or somehow their stability and success is jeopardized. And then when people are feeling threatened or like their stability is in jeopardy, that gives them a much higher chance of acting in a way they normally wouldn't have, obviously. And the more extreme the environment, the more extreme the reaction. Like cornering a dog, right? A dog starts barking and acting crazy, any animal, cat, dog, whatever, defensive, you know? And so I feel like the context why you're so stable is that your stability, why you're so chill in all this energy, is that those things that you need to be there, the foundational things, stability, financial stability, or some kind of security is there. So you have empowerment to say no, no thank you, I don't care. You know, it's not like it helps with the anxiety, you know. Or someone around you does. We have 2 of coins, and then you're going to take steps towards that which you want from here on in, you know. And so I feel like it's very important that you take the right steps. Don't throw your heart at someone random. Don't waste this energy. 7 of Wands, stick up for yourself. Be strong in what you want. I feel like the biggest threat to your peace and security right now is you meeting somebody and being romantic with them, and they not deserving your romantic feelings and openness. So be a little bit, you have things to lose here, Cancer. And so, you know, you have things to lose, and don't allow outside things to mess with that. Okay? That's what I'll say about that. Just hold yourself up a little bit, and it's not being snobby, it's about protecting your good energy, your stability, and then choosing selectively about where you put it. This showed up 3 times. Okay, so we have deal with the unexpected, treat the unforeseen as divine offering. So there are things that are coming your way that you are not expecting yet. And so if you've met someone and you sort of like them, know that there might be someone even that you like more coming around the corner for you at this time. Okay? Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful full moon eclipse. Again, it's starting at 11:30 Pacific. That is 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys want to peek out, you know, that's the beginning of it. It lasts like a couple hours. So I think it ends at 4 Pacific, something like that. But it's not like a total eclipse. It's just a partial. So what that means is you will, if you watch the beginning and the end, it'll be just a little bit of a shadow. So if you're wanting to get up at like 5 in the morning, you might be disappointed. Lay your crystals out. Do some offerings. Don't push the energy around too much. Allow information to come in. We'll work with manifesting some energy in the next couple days. This is observe and listen, receive sort of thing, you know? Let the information, the downloads come in. Love you guys so much. And it's been a while, but I'm glad this feels good. It's good coming back when the right time is here. So I hope you guys have a good night. Have a safe week. I'll be back tomorrow.